Whams! So this week for the manga, we read 30 chapters of Sakamoto Days.
Oh, oops.
The opposite of that. Sakamoto Days. And what's your feeling on this first before, because my feeling is complicated because I'm caught up.
Oh, damn. I've seen probably half of what we read as anime, and my feeling on the anime is pretty much the same as I felt reading the first 30 chapters of this, which is it's cool, it looks cool. The story is just like, oh, Sakamoto kicks ass, and he keeps kicking ass, and he's gonna kick ass. He's got some rules for his family. It's not particularly gripping. 6.5, 7. I think it could get better as I start to learn more about the world, but it's not my favorite thing I've ever heard. The way he constantly loses weight is pretty hilarious.
It's funny, yeah.
But I don't.
Wait, does he gain the weight back? Or
Yes,
Yes.
in like a day.
Amazing.
It's just a gag where he's like fat, but then when he gets serious, he
burns
turns
so many
back into
calories.
like not fat.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
I haven't read this at all.
It's
by the
funny.
way.
It's got its quirks. I like it. I don't know that I would catch all the way up on it because the power system established is not explained very well.
There's no power system.
Well, there must be because Sakamoto's a regular human and he's stronger than iron.
No.
Okay, then yeah, I don't know.
It's just
Raw
people
rule
are
of cool.
strong. It's just rule of cool. So I give it like an 8, but that's because I'm caught up. And but if I had to rank these first 30 chapters, I would say it's a 6. And
Yeah.
I did not remember the quality of these first 30 chapters until I reread them.
They're not bad, they're just repetitive.
It's a little weird. Like the way that Sakamoto Days goes, it gets really cool. And these first 30 chapters, first of all, the art is really bad.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the art being that bad because it's not bad later. Like the characters' faces are like the proportions are way off, and like there's just so many shots that are like, what the fuck is going on here? It's like crudely drawn.
I had that thought a lot as well.
Yeah.
Like in Jujutsu Kaisen, and this isn't saying that it's drawn poorly, but it is just towards the end of Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, you kind of just go, wait, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of this or that in this.
Yeah.
And it was confusing for the first 30 chapters of a manga.
Right. So, and what's weird about that for me is that my highest praise of Sakamoto Days is that it's the opposite. But in these first 30 chapters, it's not really. And I'm like, man, I guess I just really forgot. Because I started reading Sakamoto Days 3 years ago or so. And I've been like keeping up with it. And I just fucking blitzed through it. And so like I kind of forgot what these first 30 chapters were like. And I was like, man, this art is not that good. But it gets really good. And the choreography has always been the thing that I point out as like the strong suit of Sakamoto Days.
It did look a lot better in the anime, for sure.
Yeah. Like at some point there's, it's like every single action you can tell where it starts, where it goes, and where it ends, which is not something I can say about a lot of shonen manga. And the first 30 chapters don't really exemplify that much. And so that's why I'm saying like the first 30 chapters seem to be not nearly as good as what I feel about Sakamoto Days, because I've read the rest of it and it's like,
is it now? Or
it's like 270 or something like that.
It's still running, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still going. We're nearing an end, I think. But
and he's still got a contract on his head? That's still a thing?
No. So in these first 30 chapters, right? So the
Sakamoto
way that this
has
starts
left
out,
the world of assassination. He was the best assassin there literally ever was. And one day he met a girl working at a convenience store.
Yeah.
He fell in love. He got fat. And now he runs that convenience store with his wife. And he has a daughter named Hannah, I want to say. And I believe his wife is named Aoi.
Well, it's Hana.
Oh, whatever.
It's a different name. It's Japanese.
Yes. We cut to this blonde kid.
Which
Big
it
man.
explains why they called her Hana, which is because when Sakamoto first laid eyes on his cute baby daughter, he said it felt like a flower bloomed.
He did say that. Yeah.
And so they named it Hana.
It.
Them.
Anyway, we open on Shin, who's a blonde kid who is a clairvoyant / assassin. Goes into Sakamoto's shop, is like, hey, we used to work together or something, or I've always looked up to you. I think it's both.
So yes, it is both. They don't actually cover how they work together for a long time, and it almost feels like a retcon.
Okay.
To be honest.
Shin goes in, meets Sakamoto, sees he's just living a pretty happy, normal life, is a good guy, goes back to his boss. The boss goes, you didn't kill him? Why didn't you kill him? And Shin goes, I don't want to kill him. And the boss goes, you got to kill him. So Shin goes back in, tries to kill Sakamoto. Sakamoto stops a bullet with I think it's a gumball. Or no, it was a cough drop.
He shoots a cough drop out of his mouth and deflects a bullet.
That was cool. Then he hires Shin, basically.
Hold on, real quick. I was thinking, this reminds me of another manga about a guy who can just like use really ridiculous stuff to solve situations. What was it called?
MacGyver?
Haven't you heard I'm
Sakamoto. Yeah.
It's also a guy called Sakamoto.
Yeah, so
what is it with Sakamoto?
This is not within the first 30 chapters, I don't think, but it's kind of explained later that Sakamoto's like specialty is that he's able to use his environment like he's Jackie Chan, where it's like whatever is in his environment is like what he uses to fight, because every assassin kind of has a specialty. They have like a special weapon.
Ideally, they have
sorts.
multiple specialties, which is kind of alluded to later.
With the sniper guy. But Sakamoto is basically just able to use whatever the fuck is next to him.
I think the funniest fight to me was he had a mechanical pencil, a half-off sticker, and a bottle cap. And he flicked the mechanical pencil lead into the guy's eye, covered the guy's other eye with the half-off sticker, and then I think knocked him out with the bottle cap or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Which the fact that you can tell, and see, that's what I mean with the choreography, is that the fact that you can tell what he did.
Well, they also
with what
explained
objects.
it. It's a manga.
The fact that it's like, you can see that he's like, all right, this is what I'm working with here, and then he fucking does it, and he's like, there's a moment when they're later on when they're like on a motorcycle chase. And he, like, Sakamoto and Shin are on a motorcycle and they're trying to save somebody, right? And they're on a motorcycle, and all the bad guys are also on motorcycles, and they're taking them out in different ways. Shin throws like a piece of wood into the wheel of one of the motorcycles and it takes him out, which probably killed him, which is against the family rules. But anyway, Sakamoto, like, one of the guys comes up and is just like, I'm gonna smack you with a fucking sword. Sakamoto just like kicks their motorcycle, like he's just. And he fucking flies off.
There's one point where he breaks his sword with tongs, and I thought that was really funny.
He grabs him with the fucking tongs and just breaks it. So it's like literally Sakamoto is just like whatever situation, he's ready with whatever the fuck he just has in front of him. He's just like, dude, this,
He also, so part of the reason him and Shin are such a good team is Sakamoto barely talks.
Yeah.
Most of the dialogue we see from him is Shin reading his mind to know what he's saying.
Yep.
Most of the time when Shin's reading his mind, it's him killing someone.
Yeah.
Because he constantly thinks about killing people. Which kind of threw me off at first, both in the manga and in the show. Because they show full panels of him killing the person. And I go, wait, did he just kill that guy? And he goes, oh, nope, psych, you were just thinking about it.
I just was thinking about it because Shin was reading his thoughts. So I guess we should explain. So Sakamoto decided to get married
because he fell in love.
And he retired and he became fat. And so it's kind of alluded to a few times, but Sakamoto and his wife, Aoi, created like a list of rules basically for the Sakamoto family.
The ones that I know of that were mentioned in the first 30 chapters, rule 1 is don't kill people. Specifically because one time Aoi was almost killed and Sakamoto saved her, and Aoi went, "Don't kill him. You know how you just saved me and you would have been sad if I died? Everyone's got someone that would be sad if they died."
Which is really funny because throughout the manga, people die all the fucking time.
The other two rules, I think it's 11 is no secrets. Or no, 11 is if we fight, you have to make me a nice dinner.
Yeah.
Or we
12 is no secrets.
12 is no secrets. I think those are the only ones we're introduced to so far.
Yeah. It does stops being a thing at some point.
Dang.
That doesn't even matter. That's why I was thinking it was so weird. So these first 30 chapters, so much of what is introduced, and this is really bad. Like, this is not great storytelling. So much of what is introduced in these first 30 chapters does not matter later. And that's why I was so confused, because I was rereading these and I was like, what the fuck is they're talking about all this?
It's like One Piece.
No.
No? Okay. I don't know. I've heard One Piece is retcon a lot of stuff too.
Not really.
Okay.
Maybe like they've retconned some things for sure, but like One Piece is known for early stuff being super relevant later. Anyway, so Sakamoto Days, yeah. A lot of the early stuff is like it doesn't even feel
a One Piece of being retconned in front of a One Piece fan.
There's some retcons for sure.
Depends on the
Is
One
what I'm
Piece
saying.
fan.
But they will take early. It doesn't matter. We're talking about Sakamoto Days.
This is about to become an hour and a half long.
Yeah, you're
segment.
talking about One Piece. We need to just fucking talk about One Piece. There needs to be an entire One Piece Whams. Oh my god. So
No.
No.
Wait.
But yeah, so they're talking about the family rules and all that. So Sakamoto has agreed to not killing, and that becomes one of the reasons why he's able to like every situation. He's kind of thinking about how can I resolve this situation and not just fucking kill this person, because he's really good at killing, but he's not allowed to kill. He can't kill, so he never kills throughout the manga. But what Bird was saying was basically just that like it's confusing because there's a bunch of scenes where Sakamoto clearly kills somebody, and then it just gets revealed that it was like a thought that he was having and Shin was reading it. Because Shin is a clairvoyant, which they do kind of explain at the end of these 30 chapters.
Very briefly, yes. So the first 10 chapters are basically people coming after Sakamoto and him recruiting them in a way. The first one being Shin. The second one is a more roundabout way of it. They go to Chinatown for pork buns, and they come across a girl who is very good at not Shaolin. What's it? The
Drunken Fist.
No, it's specifically the Tai Chi. That's
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean.
Tai Chi.
She's really good at Tai Chi, and she's being chased by mobsters. They take out the mobsters. Mobster who was taken out goes back to his boss. By taken out, I do mean just like knocked out, put out of commission, because that's how the show works or manga works. The guy who was knocked out goes back to his boss. Goes, "I'm so sorry, I couldn't get him. She was saved by these two guys," and then he's immediately beheaded. Then they send twin assassins whose names I don't remember, but one of them's kind of a brute force guy, and
it's only like 3 chapters. It's not. It's not enough.
The other guy is more assassin-y, like traditional assassin. They're serial killers. They kill people for fun and money, technically, but most of it is implied. They get fun out of it. They take the beheaded heads home, and
they behead people, and then they take the head home, and then they draw the head because they're serial killers and they're crazy.
Sakamoto fights them, wins obviously, but this is the first time we see him get thin. Where
it's like weird. We just see him because he's fat, right? The whole time, as like this cover shows right on the screen, he's fat.
What are you doing?
But when he gets serious, the fat just burns instantly, and he becomes like skinny the way that we see him in like flashbacks. And this is the first time we see him skinny.
Sorry, I'm paying attention to the cat. Anyway, so we see him skinny. They do this special move. I don't remember what the special move is called, but it's a flurry.
They didn't
of
call it
slashes.
anything.
They
were like, it's the something, and then they do it.
Oh, they had a name for it. I thought. It was like a tofu reference, because they say you're gonna become tofu. It's like the Mapu something strike.
Weird. I don't know if that's like in.
Maybe that's not.
Maybe
actually
different
real.
translations. I don't know.
But so he dodges it. They go, oh, he dodged it. Time to break out our super secret technique. And then he dodges that too. Knocks them both out. And we don't really see those guys again.
Standard shonen shit. It's standard.
But now Shin and her name is Lu become workers at the shop. Lu is a really bad employee. Lu goes to the shop and immediately just starts throwing shit on random shelves. And Shin just complains constantly about it. Detergent doesn't go in the fridge.
Yeah.
And she says basically, well, they're coming here to buy it. They're just going to buy it.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
So, and that is really funny. My overall issue with, this is an overall issue with Sakamoto Days, is that Lu gets forgotten about.
Okay.
And it sucks.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that's true in the first 30 chapters because she's around a lot.
She's around a lot. And the next, I think it's like the next arc.
It's the amusement park.
So after the first 30 chapters, like the next arc is all about Lu and like her brother or something like that. And then after that arc, Lu just becomes like completely inconsequential. And I was like, how are we just gonna fucking completely forget about Lu? But anyway, yeah. So Lu gets introduced.
After that, they go, oh, there's a lot of assassins after us. We gotta lay low. And Hana says, but you told me we were gonna go meet Mr. Super Bunny Rabbit Man. And so I don't remember his actual name. So they're like, this would be a really, really bad idea for us to go do this. And Sakamoto goes, I promised I'd take her to the amusement park. We're going to the amusement park. So they go to the amusement park. The first assassin, I believe, is a janitor.
Yeah.
They wipe the floor with him immediately. And it cuts to just some other random assassins going, yeah, we told him that bit was getting tired. I don't know why he kept doing it.
Yeah, the guy with the like scars across his neck and shit.
Hard-boiled.
Well, no, because before Hard Boiled, there's the guy with the poisons.
Oh yes, blonde hair boy in the suit. So yeah, then they go on a roller coaster. They're chased by this guy with poisons and knives and stuff. The roller coaster scene is pretty cool. They've got roller coaster. I like roller coasters a lot. Sakamoto and his family sit at the front, and then Lu and Shin sit at the back, and Lu goes, why are we sitting at the back? And Shin goes, sitting at the back is the best. And I just kind of went, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I hate fucking roller coasters, man. I
really?
fucking hate them.
Why?
I don't know. It's maybe been 10 years.
I really hated roller coasters growing up, but
I
went a year ago and had a great time.
We went to Busch Gardens a couple
roller
times.
Coasters.
Busch Gardens isn't the best for roller coasters, I will say, because they don't have a lot of them. But the ones they have that are good, like Apollo's Chariot slaps. There's two of them I was technically too tall to be on, but I went on anyway.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
You're so fucking tall. You're technically too tall to be on some fucking rides.
And that's also a complaint I have about Busch Gardens is why would you build a roller coaster with a height limit like that?
I mean, 6'5" is tall, but like, come on. You should be.
We saw like 3 guys taller than you at Wegmans today. It was the tallest
true,
day of
Holy
all
shit.
time.
No, I see people taller than me at the dealership all the time. Like way more often than I did at Chick-fil-A.
That's not that. If there was people taller than you at the dealership, I feel like I'd know about them.
No, at least since I've started there, it's been like 2 months. I've seen at least 15 guys that were taller than me.
15?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Holy! There's no fucking way.
I'm not even kidding.
People taller than you are like fucking unicorns.
Anytime I see someone taller than me, I take note of it.
There was a guy almost a foot taller than him at Wegmans.
A foot taller than him?
Yes, a very, very tall man.
There's like 5 people that are 7'5". You're telling me that they're
basketball players.
You're telling me that every basketball player is shopping at Wegmans right now on Sunday, April fucking 19th or whatever it is, to be. That's great. There's no way that there was that many. There was 5 people at Wegmans that are a foot. 3 people at Wegmans that are tall.
Was that much tall. That guy wasn't.
That's
that was one of the
crazy.
tallest guys.
I will say there was a guy I worked with yesterday for like 3.5 hours. I didn't meet his dad, but he did say his dad was like 6'6", and that is taller than me.
I mean that's technically it's like the same, but it's taller.
Hey, I mean an inch makes a lot of difference.
Okay.
Anyway,
so Sakamoto
so they're on
days.
the roller coaster. They notice the assassin. Shin goes, "We have to get these safety bars off."
Yeah.
And starts fighting with the safety bars. He pulls it off in the loop-de-loop and then attacks the assassin. So he pulls it off, gets out on the top of the loop-de-loop, and attacks the assassin at the bottom of the loop-de-loop. I thought this was so fucking cool. And then they fight on the track for a while. Another car or train, I think they're called trains, comes through and they have to dodge that. Shin gets poisoned and cannot see anymore, but they fight all the way over to this main stage where it's kind of like a Power Rangers thing going on. They have a couple Power Rangers on stage that are waiting for the bunny to save them. And
it's something that I think, like, as far as how like common it is, doesn't translate well to Americans because it's like
Sentai, you mean?
Yeah, the Sentai like stage play with like the Power Rangers, where it's like a Power Ranger versus a bad guy on a stage. It is non-existent in America, but this is something that is like at amusement parks in Japan. You know,
Six Flags does it.
Six Flags does it.
Opening scene of
It's
Perfect
not-
Blue has.
It's not exactly Power Rangers, but there are a lot of stage plays at Six Flags, especially around Halloween time, that have people like fighting on stage. There's a clear good guy, there's a clear bad guy.
Oh, okay.
It's usually set to 80s rock music. The one I was specifically thinking of was Shot Through the Heart, and like
Shot through the heart,
and it was awesome. It was one of my favorite things.
Too late.
Six Flags Magic Mountain is one of my favorite places on earth.
A bad name.
I would love to check out some other Six Flags and see if they're as cool as Magic
I don't think I've
Mountain
ever
is.
been to a Six Flags.
They're, you don't like roller coasters, so it makes sense. But they're like the roller coaster park.
They're the roller coaster of roller coasters.
I've heard King's Dominion is really good, and they are owned by Six Flags. And that's probably the next one we'll go to.
Yeah, somehow the Sakamoto Day segment has turned into like 60% roller coaster talk.
Sorry, it piqued one of my interests. So then they're doing the fight on stage. Shin is in the rabbit costume, and he's perfectly parrying this assassin's technique. And the assassin goes, "Wait, he's supposed to be blind. How's he doing this?" And it cuts him. It shows he's like has his eyes closed. What he's doing is reading Sakamoto's mind in the crowd, and Sakamoto is just constantly thinking of what the next attack is going to be.
Sakamoto is telling him telepathically how to fight this guy.
They beat the guy, they talk to the guy and go, "Don't come after my family again. That'd be really bad for you." And then, as far as we know, he doesn't.
That guy,
He was
from what I
cool.
remember, he never shows up again. Like, he's just gone.
I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of that.
Like, and this is kind of the impression that I got from these first 30 chapters after having like gone back from what I've read, is that the author had no idea what they were doing. They just wanted to make some action shit. And like, because most of what is talked about in these first 30 chapters is completely irrelevant to later. Like,
Except the order.
The order is important and X is important.
I think a lot of the time with Shonen Jump manga, like, you don't want to start off with your plot because you might get canceled. Like, if you're not extremely popular.
So that is actually why I've chosen the first 30 chapters as like what we talk about. Because typically with manga, the first 30 chapters, they don't know what the fuck they're doing until like 20 something chapters in. So like usually by the first 30 chapters, you actually get an idea of what they're doing. And they introduce X, who is the main bad guy. X,
really? He's the big bad of the whole series?
Not the deer guy.
No, I know.
But X is the main bad guy.
The deer guy then explains that he's not X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
X is not the main bad guy, or the deer guy is not the main bad guy, but X is the main bad guy.
Okay.
And most other things that happen in these first 30 chapters are completely irrelevant. It's just
I'm just gonna speed around the rest of the explanation then.
There you go.
We get introduced after the fight on stage to them basically saying, "Oh, we should stay in public areas. It's good that we stay in public areas because then assassins can't get us." And they immediately go into a haunted house.
yeah.
The haunted house has a bunch of random low rate assassins trying to kill them, but they have two that are kind of commentating the whole time. One's name is Hardboiled, and
I love Hardboiled.
Hardboiled's really fun.
Hardboiled is so funny.
He's really, it's not that he's fun. He's funny.
Yeah.
He started assassin school. There's like an assassin school.
He comes back later, by the way.
Well, he's kind of introduced as part of the crew after his arc.
Not exactly. Yeah. He doesn't really become like part of the regular crew. He like branches off and then he comes back later.
Okay. But it's Hardboiled and a woman. I don't really remember what the woman's gimmick
She
is.
doesn't matter.
Oh, right. So
She doesn't matter.
Hardboiled's thing is he has rocket punches. He's like a rocket assassin, so he uses the force from rockets for his punches and jumps and stuff.
Yeah, that's so I'll say so. Hardboiled's thing is introduced that way. Hardboiled's thing is that he's hard-boiled.
That is also
So
true.
if you have if you've read One Piece, so there's a character in Dressrosa who is he has a baby's diaper on and a bib, and he has he's fucking weird, but he's hard boiled. And this is the only reason I understand what hard boiled means, is that he's essentially just,
Doesn't that just mean they're hard?
it just means they're an action star. Like it means that they do whatever,
Grit. Like
Yeah.
basically being gritty.
it's whatever is the most manly thing, that's what they do.
Really good
So-
Gintama episode about being hard boiled.
So
I
what-
can't
As
describe
Tech
it.
9 said it, my shit is hard. Constipated.
So being hard boiled just means whatever is the hardest thing that you can do in that moment, that's what you're doing. So like however silent that you can be in order to like get a point across, however fucking cool
in American
you can be.
terms, extreme.
It's Clint Eastwood is hard boiled.
Okay, sure.
If you're Clint Eastwood, that is hard boiled.
So Hardboiled and Sakamoto fight. Sakamoto goes, "Oh, I remember you. I'm not going to kill you," but he's not going to kill anyone. Lou and the girl fight, and the girl basically goes, "Oh, you suck."
That fight sucks.
I think it's fun because it introduces the drunken fist thing.
Yeah, but
because-
it sucks.
So going into the haunted house, Lou drinks a tonic that wards off bad spirits, to which Shin immediately just says, "That's liquor."
Yeah, she just gets really drunk.
Yeah. And she goes through all the phases of drunk in the fight. So basically, they capture Shin, and the woman that's fighting Lou says, "If you don't hit me every 10 seconds, my goons are going to kill you." And so she goes through all the different phases of drunk, in like happy drunk, sad drunk,
Yeah,
erratic
yeah.
drunk, and then she sobers up. But she's winning. It's really funny.
Yeah.
It's not a great fight. It is hilarious.
Yeah. It's told terribly.
Yeah.
Like it's so background, it doesn't really matter, but we get to see the different stages of drunk, like in like what you just said. But then like the fight gets like ignored and then it just ends. I really have to pee. Is there
Okay.
more else that you have to say about Sakamoto?
I can
Days?
explain the last 10 chapters, but I would also like to grab a beer. Would you mind
Yes.
doing that
All
for
right.
me real quick?
Here's what I recommend you do. Just don't describe what happens. Just, is there any characters you like from the last 10 chapters?
What's his the
So-
shape changey guy?
So okay. There's actually a bit that we've completely ignored. So Nagumo,
Nagumo. Okay.
who is able to disguise himself as basically anything, shows up. He's one of the Order. The Order is implied to be
The
like
lawbringers of the assassin world.
they are like the top dogs, and Sakamoto used to be one of them. Nagumo is super skilled. Nagumo
But
is
he's a
kind of
fucking
implied to be the
goofball
best.
every time we see him.
yes, but Nagumo is really funny. He's one of the good guys throughout the whole story. But So the last 10 chapters is basically about
Shin's upbringing.
Shin's, like, how he became clairvoyant, which means he can read minds.
They
the
go
last
to
10
a
chapters,
science museum. They fight
Yeah.
a bunch of dinosaurs.
they go to a museum, they fight a bunch of animatronic dinosaurs, and then
There's 5 levels.
it shows that there's like this deer guy who has taken over the museum.
I do wish it
and
explained the deer thing a little more. Why
he's
does
just
he wear
he's
a
just
deer
wearing a
head?
deer head. That's it. That's all there is. Which he's like a weird experiment. He's like made of knives. It's weird.
He's I think he's like a character in Fate Strange Fake where I think he says 70% of his body is weapons.
Yeah, it's weird. But so he starts to kind of allude to what X is all about, and X is like this mysterious character who is behind the scenes, and it's implied that he's the reason that Sakamoto has a hit on his name, and he's like killing a bunch of assassins. He hates the assassin world. And
the laboratory where Shin was made is not bad, but it's been taken over by assassins, so now it's
Yes.
bad.
And now it's bad. That's like the entire last 10 chapters. It's talking about this laboratory that's been taken over.
They fight a guy who
And-
can turn invisible, and
Yeah.
they fight the guy who's not X but has an X across,
Yeah.
X scars, who's a bunch
Which
of...
the order kind of steps in, and this guy named Shishiba and his like the girl, I don't remember what her name is, who they're part of the order. They're super relevant. They're really strong. They basically come in and fuck up all the assassins that took over the lab. And the lab ends up just becoming like, okay, we're just explaining how Shin got his powers, and the deer guy is like explaining why X is like misunderstood.
So what would have made this a 10?
The first 30
more
chapters,
consistent storytelling.
yeah, absolutely. The
Is the manga a 10 now?
I think it's like an 8.
Okay.
Okay.
But these first 30 are only a 6.
The first 30 are only a 6. So the manga as a whole is an 8 because the action is crazy, which these first 30 chapters don't show it too well. But the action gets so good, and like it's like if you've ever watched an Ip Man film or like Jet Li, that kind of like just straight up kung fu films. That is what Sakamoto Days becomes, which there's literally a character whose entire introduction is that he is a filmmaker, and his role is to record people doing crazy shit while assassinating people. And it's basically just revealed through that guy that like the reason this mangaka made this manga is that he loves kung fu movies, and he just wanted to make a manga about kung fu.
Shade, have you seen the anime at all?
I have not.
Or do you think this works better as an anime?
Yes.
Or as
100% yes. The problems that Shade is describing of the action not really making
so
sense.
bad.
Go, it's okay. It makes a lot more sense seeing it animated.
So, because Shade's saying that the action does make a lot of sense later, so maybe the anime basically caught up to what the manga
I think
is
so.
like later on.
The choreography, videography makes a lot more sense in the anime than it does in the manga.
Because it kind of reminds me, the way Shade's been describing it reminds me of One Punch Man. Because One Punch Man is known for the fact that the manga is almost an
Dog
anime.
shit. Dog
No,
shit
well, okay.
drawing.
There's the original One Punch Man manga is bad illustrative quality,
But great story.
Well, and excellent storyboarding. Like
Okay.
the original manga still does have like amazing flow of its action. It's just not detailed.
He didn't know
enough.
how to draw. He couldn't hire an artist.
He was like
I say
teaching
dog
himself.
shit lovingly.
Yeah, well, one was literally teaching himself how to draw by drawing One Punch Man. But what people were surprised by is that despite the low quality of the detail, the actual readability is high. Like he
Yeah.
does a great job of framing the shots. And so when it was adapted by, I don't remember the name of the dude, sorry, Murata something, that guy put all the detail in while still adapting the fight scene storyboards. But there's moments in One Punch Man where it is basically every frame of an animation. And he actually did animate, the artist of One Punch Man animated scenes in the show because
So he's learned how to draw.
no, not that the
adapter.
the adaptation guy. Yeah. So because the show is obviously based on the adaptation.
I really wish I could get into One Punch Man.
It's
It seems fun. I've never been able to.
I think One Punch Man is a great concept that once I think once you get the joke, it's hard to justify it being like a full show.
No. One Punch Man is great.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I like Mob Psycho a lot.
Mob Psycho's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just heard you doing that from the other room.
Mob Psycho is better, but One Punch Man is great.
All right, before we get into that, we got to talk about the next manga.
Okay.
Do we have options again? Or
No, there's one. So Sakamoto Days is a really popular
No.
manga, but it's been going for a long time. And so far, most of the manga we've covered have been going for a long time. Shade's already read.
we got a
most
new
of them.
one, is what I'm hearing.
I wanted to find something that actually just has 30 chapters, so that you can just catch up to it and be on point. Now, nothing that only has 30 chapters is hugely popular in America yet, because that's just not how that works.
So typically 20 chapters is like when it gets canceled, if it's gonna get canceled.
So this manga is on Shonen Jump Plus, which I believe you have, right, Shade?
Yeah.
So you'll be able to read this in app. But I was looking for manga that started about a year ago, and I found one. I read the first 8 chapters of this, and I think it is phenomenal. Like one of the best manga I've read in years. I loved this manga from the 8 chapters I've read out of like 31, 32 out by next week. So I'm heavily recommending everybody who's listening to this, if you've never heard of this manga, please read this manga before next week.
Oh my god. This is a huge endorsement.
This is called Maison and the Man-Eating Apartment. It is a manga.
Is this a Chainsaw Man thing?
No, it's a manga that takes place 1 second before the end of the world, in which there is this gigantic pillar-shaped apartment complex that they have found a way to make time extend eternally inside of this 1 second.
Maison and the Man-Eating Apartment.
So nobody can leave this apartment because the world is ending outside, and if you go outside where time's happening normally, in 1 second the universe is about to end. But inside of this
Universe or the world?
The world. The sun's exploding, basically, I think.
Okay.
And so inside of the apartment, time has been going for like 5,000 years. And they have this incredibly particular society built around the way the apartment works, which is all these weird rules about how the apartment works.
Is it like Snowpiercer?
A little bit. It's a little bit like Snowpiercer as a shonen manga. Actually, it's a lot like Snowpiercer now that you mention it. But it feels, art-wise, it looks like somewhere between Akira and Dragon Ball. It is gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. The vibes remind me of Made in Abyss without all the pedo
It's on
stuff.
Manga Plus. It's not on Shonen Jump.
Well, okay.
Wow.
Maybe
do some research.
It's
next time.
published in Jump Plus. I don't know. Maybe it's different in English.
Yeah, whatever.
But anyway, the story reminds me of Made in Abyss without all the gross stuff, and Spirited Away. The main character is very reminiscent of Sen from Spirited Away once she gets really badass. And basically the main character is a young girl who was born to be the manager of the apartment. And so,
like Encanto.
A little bit. I could see comparing it to Encanto.
So apartment is a stretch.
Yeah, it's a giant pillar. The artwork is crazy.
So I just read the first 2 pages. So the third page they go, apartment? You mean this thing?
Yeah.
It is not an apartment.
It is an apartment.
They're just calling it an apartment.
The main character's name is Maison, which is the French
House,
word
right?
for house.
Because that's Maison Ikoku.
Maison Ikoku
So
is the same reference.
This is how I would imagine living on Mercury would be. The planet Mercury.
Anyway, I love this manga. Highly recommended.
Mercury,
you're gonna read
like
it
close to the sun.
Catch up to it before next week. It's not a super long read.
I'd love to read this.
It's super exciting.
Looks fun.
Every chapter has you like, well, fuck, what's about to? I gotta know more. Like,
yeah, I've read some manga that I like that.
Sorry, going back to the pre-show solo leveling talk, I didn't love the first season, but every single episode did have me ending going, oh fuck, I have
Well,
to know
that's
what
because
happens
Solo Leveling
next.
always cuts the episode off right before the thing is about
And
to
I
happen.
hate that.
It's
I
fucking-
really hate that, but it was good enough to make me keep watching it.